Hey Steppers, just wanted to give like an opinion editorial piece today. And it's something that I think that if you subscribe to the ideas and philosophy of radical recovery, you're going to meet some obstacles, particularly, and this is where I meet them, is with old timers who are established in their belief system. They've cultivated a understanding of the steps, and just like me, they're just as passionate about their ideas as I am about mine. And when I bring up the idea of complete recovery, from total recovery, from access to God and His ability to heal us, it just annihilates them. I mean, they get so belligerent towards me and towards the idea, they'll literally storm out of a meeting at the utterance of that idea. And I've talked to them after, and I've sought to find out what makes them so defiant to the idea of complete recovery. And this is basically a synopsis of what they all say. If you can recover completely, does that mean that you can go ahead and use again or drink again? Or, they think that it's giving people a license to go and relapse. Now you've, in other words, controlled drinking or controlled using or controlled eating or controlled gambling. That's not the concept. It's not to recover completely so you can go back and do something stupid. It's to recover completely so we can be free and independent and passionate about anything that we do in life. Not to go back and use again. To complete the process, you have to carry the message. You have to bring it to someone else. You have to impart your ideas and success and bestow it upon someone else. And when you do that, by doing that process, it's so brilliant because you're publicly committing yourself to the information that you believe. You're imparting it to someone else. And when you teach the material, you learn it in a whole different light, a whole more intimate way. It becomes much more intimate because now you're declaring it. So you've received it. The big book says we can't give what we haven't got. Obviously, you have to acquire it first. Don't attempt to transmit something you haven't experienced. So the whole idea is to be free. It's not to go use again, but the difference here is that when I go to a meeting today, I go because I want to go. I go on purpose. I go with the purpose of finding someone who needs the information. You know who gravitates toward it? Ironically, are newcomers. They love the idea. It awakens their spirit. It sparks and ignites their mind. It opens up their heart to what is possible. And that's exactly what they need. They need that energy, that fuel to get started. The old timers are intimidated because they've come to this identity that this is who I am. I am an addict. I am an alcoholic. I am an overeater. I am a gambler. And whenever you say I am and fill in the blank, that becomes your identity. And there's no way in the universe that you can live in a way outside of your perceived identity. And when I develop that identity, if it's identity that's incarcerating, I have to go to a meeting with all these definitives. I can't go to a concert because they're using. I can't go to a bar because they're drinking. I can't go to a party because people might be, whatever. I can't, I must, I have to. Today I do it because I want to. Because I'm a free and independent spirit and I want to find someone to help. My meeting is not sponsor dependent. My program is not sponsor dependent. It's not meeting dependent. It's not people dependent. It is God dependent. And God, the difference between a religious God and a spiritual God is that the religious God is we are here and He's up there somewhere. It's a duality concept. Whereas a spiritual God says, yes, there is a God, and he's here, and he's inside of me. And I know it's popular doctrine in the program to say, oh, there's a God and it's not you. Well, here's what I submit. There is a God, and he's inside of you, and he's inside of me. And spiritually, we are brothers and sisters living this experience called life, so we can learn and grow and find our way back to him, back to the source of our creation. And when we connect with that source of creation, what happens is a floodgate of truth starts to reveal itself. An intuition develops inside where we connect with that truth, and it just resonates in my body. I can literally feel it. And also with lies, with things that are not true. I can identify them right away, that this is just not true. I am so much more than my problem. Why would I identify myself in the present by something I did in the past? It just doesn't make sense. So here I get an opportunity to develop a brand new identity, to live with passion and freedom and independence, and really pursue the aptitude of reaching other people. We are so specially equipped. When the doctors failed, and the clergyman failed, and the psychiatrist failed, and the social worker failed, and the family failed, the parents failed, the brother, the sister, the mother, the cousin, when all of our acquaintances and friends have failed, we are equipped uniquely with experience and a message inside. And when we recover and overcome those challenges, we are in such a beautiful position to reach others who are destitute. It's such a huge burden. It is a monumental mantle that we assume when we practice this way of life, because with that freedom comes this huge responsibility of what am I going to do with it? And I'm telling you, we're perfectly suited to carry the message to others. That's the whole purpose. But I don't want to not recover and tell people, well, join this way of life and you'll get into this lifestyle. Well, you'll never recover, and you'll always be dependent on people. You'll always be dependent on a sponsor. You'll always be dependent on meetings. You'll always be dependent on... No. It's about growing in likeness of our Creator, in understanding with our Creator. It's about growing into the person we would have become had we never even started. Let that sink in for a second. And when you meet new people and you've recovered and you tell them about your past, when they say things like, man, I can't believe you used to do those things, that's a good indicator. It's great feedback, because it means that they can't even conceive that you were the type of person who did those horrific things. And when I change in the present, it changes my past, because it means everything I went through was necessary for me to learn so I could be who I am. So I know that's a lot to, digest, but know that if you subscribe to this way of life, if you start practicing the idea of complete recovery, know that inside the culture of the 12 steps, you are going to meet with resistance. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just let people be who they're going to be, and you be who you are going to be. Over time, you will be revealed as having had integrity and being honest over time. So don't be overzealous, but be unrelenting in your pursuit of this relationship with God, who has the ability to heal and to cure and to fix. That's what he has. I pray every day that message reaches deep down inside of your psyche and in your heart and in your mind, and you can just accept the idea of adopting it and cultivate that relationship. And if you do, I know that you will be in a place that few people experience because you're on the road less traveled. You are departing from conventional wisdom, and you are assuming a real relationship with a higher power who's all-knowing, all-powerful, omniscient, omnipresent. He has all these wonderful characteristics, and you're not just the idea of it, you're having the experience of him in your life, is my prayer. There's more opinions, more editorials, and I will be disclosing them to you as inspiration moves me. But I hope you enjoyed this visit. Take care.